In Cobra Kai Season 3, we all ended with the foretelling of Season 4's synopsis and endgame, a death match in the valley between rivaling karate dojos. Winner takes all and loser leaves town forever. With such a drastic situation that leaves no room for mercy, Johnny and Daniel know what must be done as they team up to take out Cobra Kai and John Kreese for good. Now, while we can go into many theories as to what could happen in Season 4, which I've done and will go into further detail in the coming weeks and months, let's theorize on what would happen if Cobra Kai wins the All-Valley tournament against Eagle, Fang Karate, and Miyagi-Do, which are now one dojo with two teachers. For how long that's going to be until Daniel and Johnny fight, I don't know, but we'll see. Silver is going to come into the mix at some point, and with him and all of his money and power, who knows what could happen. The day of the tournament is a day of reckoning. Cobra Kai destroys the competition and absolutely annihilates Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. The winner, Cobra Kai, with Kyler being their top student, and mind you, I'm not going to go far-fetched and theorize that they'll bring in Mike Barnes' son or something like that, who's just a junior version of his old self from the 80s. No, we'll just say Kyler is the top student at this point. Someone's going to be a top student and they're going to win. Could be Kyler or a new guy. Johnny and Daniel are devastated. They know what this means. Not only can they not teach karate in the valley, but they must leave their home, their town, for good. The valley would be open to a Cobra Kai dojo friendly place. Cobra Kai would open up everywhere. Silver's original plan was to open 20 dojos back in the 80s. Well, now he'll open thousands all across California and the rest of America. This is where Cobra Kai becomes the face of karate in the United States, with tournaments happening all over and Cobra Kai representing the winner of more and more of these tournaments. Taking first place, leaving no prisoners alive, and showing no mercy, the world starts to take note of Cobra Kai's notoriety, that they are unbeatable. Silver and Kreese not only rake in the cash for their dojos, but they start to franchise the name Cobra Kai out. They just want numbers. They want to take over, much like the Emperor in Star Wars when he transitioned from the clones to the stormtroopers. He basically went from an elite army to basically just anybody who, like farmers, for example, like Luke Skywalker. Anybody could join and become a stormtrooper. Kreese and Silver want to make sure that the name and teachings of Cobra Kai extend to the rest of the world. But the more Cobra Kai grew, the more diluted it became, with of course the true Cobra Kai being taught at Kreese and Silver's locations in the valley, and in California for the most part, with it getting watered down the further we go. But still, teaching no mercy throughout the world. This is why Silver and Kreese would send scouts to all new dojos every quarter to inspect that no mercy is truly being taught. Daniel and Johnny try to figure out what can be done. As years pass by, they are more and more surrounded by the snake. Like the pit Kreese saw during the war, Daniel and Johnny were being thrown in as the world of Cobras slithered closer to them, until they got wind of a major fiasco in the news. One town refused the opening of any Cobra Kai dojos, regardless of how much Cobra Kai paid them. A man named Chosen Toguchi, who still governed much of Okinawa with his power, respect, and affluence, told the papers that if Cobra Kai were to show up again and try to open a dojo, that it would be the last thing they did, for it disrespected his honor and the honor of his late sensei, Sato, who taught a different karate, a karate that was native to their land, and he would never let an outsider's karate, especially one like Cobra Kai, open. Daniel knows what must be done. He grabs Johnny and takes him to Okinawa as he meets with Chosen, who is growing more and more worried about the constant Cobra Kai influence being pushed on the world as it got closer to him. They vow to join forces to bring an end to it all. As Cobra Kai's tough standards pushed away those not merciless enough, out opened the doors of Miyagi Fang Karate. Chosen, Daniel, and Johnny would fly back to California together just on the outskirts of the valley and open up a secret karate dojo disguised as a bonsai shop. But downstairs, they taught karate, the real karate, passed down from father to son, father to son. As their classes grew, they moved back into the valley, still training underground, as they watched and observed as they brumated like a snake would, waiting until the time was right to take back the title. Miyagi Fang Do Karate would enter the tournament at the All Valley, and they would beat Cobra Kai only in the end to reveal who the masters really were. As the looks on Terry Silver and John Kreese's face fell to the floor. Their anger fueled them to show no mercy, and they ran over to Daniel, Chosen, and Johnny in a fight to the death in front of the entire crowd, being broadcasted all over the world, where we get a massive fight, only this time it's not like the last few seasons where just students are fighting, it's the teachers too. Everything is televised, and in the end, Johnny, Daniel, and Chosen immobilize Kreese and Silver's fighting ability just as old Miyagi family techniques would have taught them, but not without leaving a few broken bones and bruises on the good guys. Kreese and Silver aren't a force to be taken lightly, let alone if they have someone else that they bring into the mix. Cobra Kai would go on to lose students, and everyone would see how embarrassing the owners were and how poor of a sport they were. Johnny and Daniel would open up their dojos in the valley to teach karate the right way, and Chosen would go back to Okinawa to continue his uncle's karate. Silver and Kreese would be locked up, and all peace would resume in the valley. That is, until Mike Barnes makes their bail.